to statewide lecture. Myself, Bhavya Kini from Gumpa Road Municipal English School. Yesterday, students, we started with the chapter number 4, that is the United Nations. We completed half a part of lesson. Today, we will continue that part, the rest part of the chapter. Now, before continuing, let's recall what we have done yesterday. So we understood about the background of United Nations. So we understood that why an international organization as United Nations was established basically to make sure that peace and security is been established at international level. So what was the background? What was the reason for the establishment of United Nations? We understood that there were two world wars. Okay, that was fought in the past in the 20th century. That was World War I and World War II. So this World War I was fought between 1914 to 1918. That was between Allied powers and Central powers. And the World War II was fought between 1939 to 1945. That was between Allied powers and Axis powers. Now, what happened because of this war? There was lot of loss, even the loss of life and property. So for this reason, after First World War, League of Nations was established, and after Second World War, United Nations was established. However, League of Nations did not succeed at all to prevent the Second World War. So after Second World War, to put a complete mechanism to establish world peace, the United Nations was established. Now we also understood about the chronology. Chronology means the sequence for the establishment of United Nations. So there was a treaty which was known as Atlantic Treaty, which was signed between Prime Minister of England, Sir Winston Churchill, and American President Franklin D. Roosevelt. It was during Second World War on 14th of August 1941. Then there was a detailed discussion which was followed on a decision to conference among Allied powers in 1944 and 1945, and a draft of treaty to establish an international organization was prepared. So then at San Francisco in America, representative of 50 countries, they drafted the Charter of United Nations after complete discussion. And as soon as the Second World War got over, the charter was signed on 24th of October 1945, and the United Nations was established. We also understood about the objectives of the United Nations. Okay, so there are few objectives, or you can say aim, which is definite, fixed for United Nations. So few of them are: it is to establish friendly relations among nations, to enhance international security by solving international disputes, to safeguard and foster human rights. Now, what do you understand by human rights? It's the basic right and freedom that is belongs to every person in the world, from birth until death, and freedom. So these are the objectives. Then we covered the part of principles of United Nations, which is mentioned as all member nations, they, however big or however the economic power, or however the geographical sizes, each and every member nation of United Nations will be treated equally. Okay, means there would be any kind of discrimination won't be done. Then all member nations of the United Nations, they should respect the freedom and geographical integrity of other member nation. Even the member nation should solve their international dispute, any kind of disagreement and differences by peaceful means. Then we also did about the structure of United Nations. There are 6 main organizations which functions under United Nations. So the United Nations Charter describes the structure and functioning of the organization. The first one is the General Assembly, the Security Council, Economic and Social Council, International Court of Justice, Trusteeship Council, and Secretariat. Now for General Assembly, it is like all member countries, or means all the member countries of United Nations are the members of General Assembly as well. So, and every year the General Assembly meets in its session from September to December. And in this session, they discuss about the issues. Okay, issues means international problems related to environment, disarmament, etc. And the decision in the General Assembly are taken by majority. So the main, you can say the significance or the importance of General Assembly is that it's a platform for the representative of member nation to come together and discuss and make policy decision on issues of global importance. The functions of General Assembly, they elect the non-permanent member of Security Council, they choose the Secretary General and the judges of International Court of Justice, they also pass annual budget. The Security Council is the second organ. It's again, there are 15 members in Security Council, 5 are permanent, while 10 are non-permanent. Okay. And the permanent member countries include America, Russia, England, France, and China. Then they have a veto power. Okay. Like for any decision to be taken, all 5 permanent member and 4 non-permanent members acceptance is necessary. And if any of one of the 5 permanent member, they give a negative vote, okay, the decision cannot be taken. Then we did about the functions of Security Council. They also have a responsibility of maintaining the international peace and security. They suggest the alternative like to end or resolve conflict, make effort to establish peace, impose economic sanction, and take decision of military action against the aggressor nation. To prepare policies for armed control is also one of the functions. To play a joint role along with General Assembly in the appointment of the judges of the International Court of Justice and of the United Nations Secretary General. Then the Economic and Social Council. The main objective of this organization is to coordinate the economic and social policies of the United Nations. In total, there are 54 members here. Now they are selected by the General Assembly. And what is the period of service? It's for 3 years, and each year 1/3 of their members are newly chosen. What is their functions? They discuss at worldwide level the problems faced by all over the countries of the world, which it's like poverty, unemployment, economic and social inequality, and they suggest policies to tackle these problems. They discuss problems related to women's questions, empowerment of women, human rights, fundamental freedoms, global trade, health related issues, and they make decisions. They also make effort to establish cultural and educational cooperation at international level. And they coordinate the function of different organizations, means there are different affiliated organizations which work for United Nations. Okay, like ILO, the full form is International Labour Organization. FAO, that is Food and Agricultural Organization. World Health Organization, that is WHO. So they coordinate the function of these different organizations in association with United Nations. Then we have the next organization which functions for United Nations is Secretariat. Now they have a responsibility of carrying out the administrative, like the management task of United Nations. The chief of the Secretariat is known as Secretary General, and they are selected by the General Assembly and the Secretary Council, Security Council, and their tenure, like the term of service is for 5 years. The functions again includes for Secretariat, the function includes to conduct international conference, that is official meeting of the member countries of United Nations, and discuss problems, means at global level, like the problems which are faced all over the world. It may be related to climate change, human rights, disarmament. They organize the meeting of General Assembly and Security Council. They compile information, means they put together information. They supply information to media, which includes TV, radio, newspaper, magazines, internet-based websites. Then the fifth one, then the next one is International Court of Justice. It's the judicial branch of United Nations. It's located in Hague. It's a city in Netherlands. It's a country in Europe. Total, there are 15 judges in International Court of Justice. And these judges, as we discussed earlier, also are chosen by the General Assembly and Security Council. They act as their function is to settle the disputes, means the disagreement, if it happens between any two or member nation of United Nations. They interpret means they make clear international law authentically, means genuinely. They advise the various organization which works for United Nations and secondary bodies of the United Nations about legal issues. Then we have Trusteeship Council. After the Second World War, the territories that were undeveloped, they were placed under the responsibility of the developed nation, and they were supposed to help bring about the development of the trust territories. And once they attained independence from their colonies, they help establish democracy. So this was what we covered as in the last lecture. Now we will continue the further part. Now I have included few additional information, students, here related to United Nations, like how they work to maintain international peace and security all over the world. Now, first one is peacekeeping. Okay. Now, peacekeeping has proven to be one of the most effective tools available to United Nations to assist countries to navigate, like you can say, to move from the difficult path from any conflict-ridden conflict to peace. Means there is any disagreement or there is any kind of argument between the countries. So peacekeeping is one of the most effective tool for them. Today's multidimensional means different parts of peacekeeping operation are called not only to maintain peace and security, but also to facilitate, means make possible political process, like any kind of elections or voting to be conducted, protect civilians, assist in disarmament, demobilization. Demobilization is the action of releasing someone from the armed forces, especially at the end of war. And reintegration means make possible of integration of former combatants. Combatants means person from the past who took part in fighting, especially in war. They support constitutional process. Constitutional process means the process for making a new constitution or amending the existing constitution, as well as substantial decision about the design, form, and content of the new and amended constitution. And the organization of election promote and protect and promote human rights and assist in restoring the rule of law and extending legitimate, means acceptable, state authority. Now, this peacekeeping operation, they get their mandates. They get their mandates mean they get their power from United Nations Security Council. Their troops means the soldiers and the police are contributed by the member states, and they are managed by the Department of Peace Operation and supported by the Department of Operational Support at UN's headquarters, which is located in New York. Now, students, there are total 12 United Nations peacekeeping operations currently deployed, and there have been a total of 71 deployed since 1948. And in 2019, the Secretary General, they launched the Action for Peace Initiative, that is known as A4P, that is Action for Peace Initiative. It was basically to renew, means it was basically to start something again related to mutual political commitment to peacekeeping operations. Then the next is peace building. It's again one of the function by United Nations for peace building is the activity which is aimed to assist countries emerging from conflict. Means any of the countries they are having any kind of conflict. Okay, it aims at peace building between them, reducing the risk of relapsing, means to become worst again after an improvement into conflict, means the previous conflict should not relapse again, and laying the foundation for sustainable peace, which includes condition of no conflict or there should be no kind of violence, and the living and they should live with mutual cooperation called peace and development. The UN peacebuilding architecture comprises, architecture means the style of building of the UN peace building. It consists of the peace building commission, There's a Department for Peace Building Commission. There's a Department for Peace Building Fund and the Peace Building Support Office. Now this Peace Building Support Office, what they do, they assist and support the Peace Building Commission with strategic advice, which considers every aspect of the project and takes a holistic view of a situation and addresses their total needs both now and in future. And policy guidance means plan of action adopted by UN, administers the Peace Building Fund, and serves the Secretary General in coordinating United Nations agencies in their peace building efforts. The next one is countering terrorism, means to fight against the terrorism. So United Nations is being increasingly called upon to coordinate, means to organize the global fight against, means the fight, the problem of terrorism is not restricted to one particular country, student, it's the worldwide problem. So it's a global fight against terrorism has been called upon by UN. 18 universal instruments against international tourism have been elaborated within the framework of the United Nations system relating to specific terrorist activities. So on September 2006, UN member states, they adopted the United Nations Global Counter-Terrorism, which particularly aim to reduce the risk of terrorism so that people can go about and live freely with confidence. So this was the first time that the member states, they agreed to a common strategic and operational framework to fight against terrorism. Then next is disarmament. Now disarmament is basically where the General Assembly and other bodies of the United Nations, they supported by the Office of Disarmament Affairs, work to advance international peace and security through the pursuit, means through the action of trying of the elimination of nuclear weapons, means the explosive device and other weapons of mass destruction, which includes nuclear, biological, chemical weapon, and the regulation of conventional arms, which includes combat helicopter, aircraft, warships, artillery, etc. So this was about the United Nations, how United Nations maintain international peace and security through peace building, peacekeeping, countering terrorism, and disarmament. Now we have the main bodies, okay, related to the main organs or organization of the United Nations. So the main bodies of United Nations includes, as we discussed in the last lecture also, it includes generally Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice, and the United Nations Secretariat. All were established under the UN Charter when the organization was founded in 1945. So the General Assembly is the main deliberative. Deliberative means the intended for consideration or discussion, formulation of ideas and laws, and representative organ of the UN. All 193 members states of United Nations, they represent in General Assembly, making it only UN body with universal representation. Now, each year, the General Assembly, as we discussed, students, they meet in September. The full UN membership meets in General Assembly Hall in New York for an annual General Assembly session and general debate, which many heads of state attend and address. So decisions on important questions related to peace and security, admission of new members, and budgetary matters require a 2/3 of majority of General Assembly. So what is done, the decisions, there is a discussion, decisions are taken on other questions. It's basically by majority votes. And the General Assembly each year, they elect a GA, that is General Assembly President, to serve a 1-year term of office. Security Council, they also have their primary responsibility under the UN Charter for the maintenance of international peace and security. They have, as we understood earlier also, that there are total 15 members. Out of 15, 5 are permanent member countries, which include France, China, America, Russia, and England, and 10 are non-permanent member. Each member has 1 vote. Okay. And under the charter, all member states are obligated, means they have to obey and comply with council decisions. And the Security Council, they take the lead in determining the existence of a threat, means danger, to the peace or act of aggression, means attacking. It calls upon the parties to a dispute to settle it by peaceful means. Means whichever countries they have dispute, so they call them and they try to bring out a negotiation between them in a peaceful manner rather than a situation of war, and recommends methods of adjustment or terms of settlement. In some cases, the Security Council, they also can resort to imposing sanctions, that is action or order, or even authorized to use of force to maintain or restore international peace and security. The Security Council has a presidency, means office of president, which keeps on rotating, means which keeps on changing every month. Then Economic and Social Council. The Economic and Social Council, they are the principal, means you can say most important body of coordination, like the process of organizing policy review, which means ensures that policies are consistent and effective. Policy dialogue, uh, which that involves people from different interest group to discuss a group to discuss on issues in which they have mutual but not necessarily common interest. Recommendation means advice on economic, social, and environmental issue. Economic issues of any countries, which includes heavy population, inequality in wealth distribution, low per capita income. Social issues, which includes illiteracy, poverty, pollution, women's safety, corruption. Environmental issues, which include urbanization, deforestation, solid waste management, landslides. So did they discuss on these issues as well as the implementation of internationally agreed developmental goals. It serves as a central mechanism for activities of UN system and its specialized agencies in the economic, social, and environmental fields supervising subsidiary. Subsidiary means subordinate and expert bodies. They have total 54 members, which is elected by General Assembly for overlapping, like extending over 3 years service, 3 years terms. And it is a United Nations central platform for reflection, that is thought, debate, and innovative means creative thinking on sustainable development. Sustainable development means development that meets the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. Then we have Trusteeship Council, which is again one of the main bodies of United Nations or organ of United Nations. Now, the Trusteeship Council, it was established in 1945 by the UN Charter, and then under Chapter 13 to provide international supervision for 11 plus territories that had been placed under administration of 7 member states, and to make sure that adequate steps are taken to prepare territories for self-government and independence. So by 1994, all trust territories, they attained self-government and independence. So the duty of Trusteeship Council was suspended on 1st November 1994. So by a resolution adopted on 25th of May 1994, the Trusteeship Council amended its rules of procedure to drop the uh, obligation, means duty to meet every year, and they agreed to meet on the occasion where there is a requirement by its decision or decision of its president, or at a request of a majority of its member or General Assembly or the Security Council. Then it's International Court of Justice. It's again a principal judicial organ, means court of law, a judge or legal judgment of the United Nations. Its seat at, means they sit at Peace Palace in Hague, Netherlands. It is the only one of the 6 principal organs of the United Nations not located in New York, that is United States of America. Now the court's rule is to settle in accordance with international law, that is rules and principles governing the relation and dealings of nations with each other, as well as relation between states and individuals, and relation between international organization, legal disputes submitted to it by the states, and to give advisory opinion on legal question referred to it by authorized United Nations organs and specialized agencies. And the International Court of Justice, they function in accordance with its statute. Statute means according to law. Then its secretariat. Now, secretariat comprised of the Secretary General and tens of the thousands of international UN staff members. They carry out day-to-day work of the UN as authorized by the General Assembly and organizations, other principal bodies. Now, the Secretary General, which is comprises of Secretariat, there is the Chief Administrative Officer of this organization, and they are appointed by General Assembly, as we know, on the recommendation of Security Council for a term of 5-year renewable term. And the Secretary General is also symbol of organization's ideals, means the principles, and an advocate means the support for all the world's peoples, especially related to poor and vulnerable. Vulnerable means weaker sections. Now, the UN staff members, they are recruited internationally as well as locally, and the work in duty stations. Duty station is a building or other fixed location at which employee reports for duty, and on peacekeeping missions all over the world. But serving the cause of peace is in a violent world. Today, it's a dangerous occupation. So since the founding of United Nations, hundreds of brave men and women, they have given their lives in its service. Now, students, apart from these 6 main organs, there are many affiliated, like there are many certified, officially connected organization of United Nations, which help help it in function, help UN to function. So they are known as specialized agencies. Now, working in specific areas, they help different nations in those areas. So what are these specialized agencies? It's International Labour Organization, ILO, Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, World Health Organization, WHO, World Bank, WB, International Monetary Fund, IMF, United Nations Children Fund, which is UNICEF, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, that is UNESCO. So we will understand about this each specialized agency. Now ILO, that's the International Labour Organization, it's United Nations agency. The goal of ILO is to advance social and economic justice, which basically aims to create equal opportunity for all members of economy, so that everyone deserves equal economic, political, social rights and opportunities. By setting international labor standards like basic human rights, working time, occupational safety, health, wages, employment, policy, and promotion. The ILO has total 187 member states, and they are and its headquarters is based in Geneva, located in Switzerland, and they have approximately 40 field offices all over the world. Next is Food and Agricultural Organization, which is FAO. It's a specialized agency of United Nations which leads like international efforts to defeat hunger. Their goal is to achieve food security for all and make sure that people have regular access to enough high quality food, as well as you can say nutritious food to live a healthy, to lead a active and healthy life. Then WHO, that's World Health Organization. It's also a specialized agency of United Nations. They are responsible for international public health. And the WHO Constitution, they state its main objective. It's basically the attainment by all people of the highest possible level of health. Again, their headquarters is in Geneva, Switzerland. It has 6 regional offices and 150 field offices worldwide. Then it's World Bank. It's an international financial institution. It provides loans and grants to the government of low and middle income countries, particularly for the purpose of pursuing capital projects. Then IMF, International Monetary Fund, it's an organization of 190 countries. They work to foster, means to encourage global monetary cooperation, means worldwide cooperation related to money, secure financial stability, like a condition in which financial system is not unstable, facilitate international trade. International trade means exchange of goods, services, and between the different countries of the world. Promote high employment and sustainable economic growth, which means a rate of growth which can be maintained without creating other significant economic problem, especially for future generation, and to reduce the poverty all over around the world. Now, UNICEF, it's an affiliated organization. At It works towards making nutritious food. Nutritious means healthy and balanced diet, meal, food, and healthcare available to children. Several workshops are organized in India to find out the measures to overcome malnutrition, that is, poor diet among babies and children. Then UNESCO is another affiliated organization. They work towards peace and security all over the world by encouraging or promoting cooperation between member countries in the fields of education, science, and culture. The headquarters of United Nations are at New York. English, Russian, Spanish, Chinese, and Arabic are included under the official language of United Nations. Then we move on to the Millennium Development Goals, which is been given on your textbook, page number 81. Now, millennium means a period of 1,000 years. Okay. So what are the development goals related to it? So the United Nations member nation, they came together in the year 2000 and they decided about the developmental goals for a new millennium. And some of the important goals are as follows. It is to eliminate poverty and hunger, means to reduce or to remove the problem of poverty and hunger, to make facilities of primary education available to children, to bring about women's empowerment, reduce infant mortality rate, means reduce in the death rate of the infants, to take special care of the health of pregnant women, to fight diseases like AIDS, malaria, etc., to protect the environment and increase the cooperation between developed and developing countries. So this was few of the important goals, okay, which was decided upon as a developmental goals for the next millennium to come. And a time period has been decided to achieve these goals. India has also made considerable progress in this direction of achieving the Millennium Development Goals with the help of UNICEF and the UNESCO, which is the affiliated organization of United Nations. Then there's United Nations and preservation of peace. So we understood earlier also, students, the objective of United Nations is basically to settle international conflict in a peaceful manner or peacefully. So the United Nations, they laid down the ways and means to be employed to achieve this goal. So it includes appointing an intermediary. Intermediary means a mediator acceptable to the nations involved in the conflict. Use the legal procedure, means a part of law that deals with legal process. Appoint an arbitrator, means a person who has been officially chosen to make a decision between two people. Solve the dispute, and if needed, to take recourse to military means. And ensure means to make sure that conflict will not occur again. In modern times, human security, which refers to security of people and communities as opposed to the security of states. Now, human security recognizes that there are several dimensions related to feeling safe, such as freedom from fear, freedom from want, and freedom from indignity. And being threatened. Threatened means put in danger by terrorism. Racist means discrimination done on basis of color and religious conflict. So what happens as a result? The functions of securing peace of United Nations has gained a lot of importance in this case. So United Nations, they make effort to ensure that violence means anything from a one person hitting another, or you can say to a war between any countries that causes millions of deaths, should not erupt. Erupt means break out in strict tone areas. Strict tone areas means areas with violent or conflict and normalcy, and means the situation should be bring should be restored, brought back to normalcy as soon as possible if there is any kind of war situation or any kind of riots happening. For example, by starting schools there, creating awareness among the people about human rights, make social, economic, political facilities available, social facilities like dispensary, maternity home, hospitals, fire brigade services, then economic facilities which include transport, communication, financial institution, political facilities like power generation, roads, availability of roads, schools should be made available in conduct elections, etc. Then it's United Nations peacekeeping. The peacekeeping activity of United Nations, it involves creating appropriate circumstances like situation which is favorable for bringing about permanent peace in strife-torn areas. The peacekeeping forces, what they do, you can see in the picture as well here, students. They help these areas to progress towards peace. In conflict-ridden areas where there is fight, battle, war, and on and armed conflict areas, security is provided, and at the same time, help is extended for establishing peace by the United Nations groups. And they take United Nations, they take up peacekeeping as one of the tasks for safeguarding, means protecting and fostering peace in the world. Following things are other actions of United Nations which may take supplementary, means other additional activities to peacekeeping activities. What is done by United Nations is prevention of conflict, means prevention of any kind of violence, fight, battle, war, and mediation means intervention in it. Actually establish peace, implement the measures of protecting peace and peace building. Now we understand how is the relation or what is the coordination between United Nations, how is the coordination between United Nations and India. Now India had been participated in different conference, means the official meeting of United Nations that were held before the establishment of United Nations. So India has participated in bringing issues like decolonization, like countries control, disarmament, reduction of use of weapons, racial segregation, like based on color discrimination, restricting people in schools, churches, parks on basis of caste and creed on the United Nations platform. So in 1946, what did India was the first ever country to raise the question of racism in the conference held by United Nations. And India has always led the discussion about the problems of undeveloped and the developing countries. Okay, so India has always discussed what are the problems which are faced by underdeveloped and even the developing countries. India has always sent her troops. Troops means armed forces to participate in the United Nations peacekeeping forces. Not just that, India has also sent all women peacekeeping force. Means even the India has sent their all women peacekeeping force as well for the participating in the United Nations peacekeeping forces. So it is evident, means it is proved from the foregoing. Foregoing means earlier analysis, means investigation, that India makes serious efforts to solve the international conflict by peaceful means. So till here we have completed the chapter. We have covered all the points from the chapter. Now there are few points that you need to remember from this chapter. Now there is you need to remember the establishment of United Nations. What was the purpose? It was basically to ensure peace and security at the international level. Then the organization established after the World War to establish world peace. So we understood after World War I, it was League of Nations, and World War II, it is United Nations. Now, were the membership of United Nations, 50 countries it was in 1945 and 193 countries today. What are the measures adopted by United Nations for establishing international peace? It's establishing friendly relation among nations, enhancing international security by solving international dispute, safeguarding means protecting, and fostering means encouraging human rights and freedom, enhancing means improving economic cooperation at the international level. Then the 6 main organs or the main bodies of United Nations, that is General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, International Court of Justice, Trusteeship Council, and the Secretariat. The annual session of General Assembly meets from September to December. The organ of United Nations that only passes resolution and does not make laws, it's General Assembly. The function of General Assembly is to elect the non-permanent member of the Security Council. They have to choose the UN Secretary General and even the judges of International Court of Justice in consultation with Security Council. They have to pass annual, means an yearly budget of the United Nations. Now, membership of Security Council, there are total 15 members, 5 permanent, 10 are non-permanent, and the 5 permanent members countries are America, Russia, England, France, and China. Veto power, what is veto power? Any decision which needs the assent, means acceptance or approval of 5 permanent and 4 non-permanent members. If even one of the 5 permanent member, if they use their veto power, that means if they give negative vote, the decision cannot be taken. Then we move on to next, that is the function of the Security Council is to maintain international peace and security, prepare policies for armed control. Along with the General Assembly, they have to appoint the International Court of Justice and the United Nations Secretary General. The membership of Economic Council, they have total 54 members, which are selected by General Assembly. Each member, they have a tenure, like the term of service, you can say, of 3 years, and each year 1/3 of their member are newly chosen. What is the objective? Is to coordinate the economic and social policies of United Nations. Then, which is the organ that of United Nations that carries out the administrative task of United Nations? It's Secretariat, or the chief of the Secretariat is Secretary General, selected by General Assembly and Security Council. Tenure is 5 years. The judicial branch of United Nations include International Court of Justice, located at Hague in Netherlands, 15 judges chosen by General Assembly and Security Council, tenure of 9 years for every judge. Then set of development goals decided upon by the United Member Nation in year 2000. It's known as Millennium Development Goals. What is the peacekeeping activity of United Nations include? It creating appropriate circumstances for permanent peace in the stripped-torn areas, means wherever the areas which is conflict ridden or wherever there is a violence happening. Prevention of conflict and mediation, implement measures for protecting peace and peace building. What are the issues brought by India to UN? It's decolonization, disarmament, racial segregation, racism. First country to raise the question of racism in UN was India in the year 1946. Now, few dates and event which you need to remember, which comes to the sequence or the chronology of establishment of United Nations. So it's 14th August 1941, wherein the Atlantic Treaty was signed between Prime Minister of England, Sir Winston Churchill, and American President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Then in 1944 and 1945, there were two conferences between Allied powers, among Allied powers, which were held, and there was a piece of plan, like a draft of a treaty was established, was prepared to establish an international organization. And on 24th of October 1945, finally United Nations was established. Then in 1946, India had been a country to raise the question of racism in United Nations. Year 2000, United Nations member nation, they decided upon the development goals for new millennium. Now here we have evaluation part, whatever we have done today. So for that part, the first question is to choose the correct option and we write the complete answer. Now here again, you have to write the full sentence choose the option and write the full sentence and underline the answer as well. The first one is here is the term of non-permanent member of the Security Council is of dash. So your whether it is 4 years, 5 years, 2 years, or 1 year. Okay, so the correct answer is 2 years. Which organ of United Nations has suspended its operation since 1994? So whether it is Trusteeship Council, Economic and Social Council, Secretariat, or International Court of Justice. So the correct answer is Trusteeship Council. Then how many judges are there in the International Court of Justice? Whether it is 9, 10, 12, or 15. Okay, the correct answer is option D, that is 15. What is the term of United Nations Secretary General? Whether it is 3 years, 4 years, 6 years, or 5 years. The correct answer is 5 years. Then UN Secretary General heads which principal organ of the United Nations organization? Whether it is General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, or the Secretariat. The correct answer is the Secretariat. What is the term of the Judge of International Court of Justice? Whether it is they have a term for a service of 9 years, 4 years, 6 years, or 5 years. The correct answer is 9 years. That's option A. How many members does the Economic and Social Council have? Whether it is 33, 40, 15, or 54. The correct answer is 54, total 54 members. Then the International Organization, they conduct workshop in India on remedial measures to tackle the problem of malnutrition among children. The correct answer is UNICEF. Then we have give the full form of the following acronyms. So the first one is ILO. So the full form is International Labour Organization. Second one is FAO. It's Food and Agriculture Organization. WHO, it's World Health Organization. WB, that is World Bank. IMF, International Monetary Fund. UNICEF, that is United Nations Children Fund. Then UNESCO, it's United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. In question number 2, what you get is to state whether the following statements are true or false with reason. So students, you have to mention first whether it is true or false, and then you have to mention the reason also for it being true or false. So the first one is India has played a major role in the work of United Nations. Yes, it is true. So what is the reason? The India has always sent their troops, means soldiers, to participate in United Nations peacekeeping force. India has also India had participated in bringing issues like decolonization, disarmament, racial segregation on the United Nations platform. So you need to answer in points again. Then UNICEF is the main organ of the United Nations. So it's false. The United Nations has 6 main organ only, as we know. As I explained you all, it includes General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, International Court of Justice, Trusteeship Council, and Secretariat. UNICEF is the only affiliated organization, you can say specialized agency of United Nations. It works towards making nutritious food and health care available to children. Then they explain the concepts that include Millennium Development Goal. So again, you have to answer in points. The United Nations member nation came together in the 2000 and they decided upon a development goal for a new millennium. Some of the important goals are as follows. It is to eliminate poverty and hunger, to make the facilities of primary education available, to bring about women's empowerment, to reduce infant mortality rate, to take special care of health of pregnant women, to fight diseases like AIDS, malaria, etc., to protect the environment and increase the cooperation between developed and developing countries. These are the Millennium Development Goals. And it's UNICEF as a concept. Again, you have to answer in point. UNICEF is an affiliated organization of United Nations. It works towards making nutritious food and healthcare available to children. There are several workshops which are organized in India to find out measures to overcome malnutrition among babies and children. Then you have complete the table, which is kind of concept chart or do as directed. when you have to write the full form of the abbreviations given. It's WHO, it's the World Health Organization. UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. UNICEF, it's United Nations Children's Fund. ILO, International Labour Organization. Then the location of it's New York is the headquarter of UN is located there. Hague, Netherlands, International Court of Justice of UN is located there. San Francisco is wherein drafting of UN United Nations Charter was done. Then United Nations runs campaigns to establish peace. Which are the countries involved in it? Yugoslavia, Namibia, Cambodia, Yugoslavia, Somalia, Haiti, and Thailand. Then UN, United Nations and Preservation of Peace, which is the ways to settle international conflict peacefully. They appoint an intermediary, means mediator, acceptable to the nation involved in conflict. They use a legal procedure. They appoint an arbitrator to solve the dispute. They take military action as well. Then again a concept chart which says you need to mention 6 official languages of United Nations like English, Chinese, Arabic, French, Spanish, and Russian. Then there's again a concept chart, a tree diagram that is given. United Nations, the headquarters is in New York. The major organs are General Assembly, Security Council, Secretariat, Trusteeship Council, Economic and Social Council, International Court of Justice. Other side, on the right hand side, it's affiliated organization, which includes ILO, IMF, UNESCO, UNICEF, WB, WHO. Okay, students, so we have completed the chapter as well as the evaluation part uh, as a revision for yesterday and today. I hope you have understood the lesson well. Ma'am? Ma'am? Hello, ma'am?